Hey, good people, how are you? How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? It is the crypto sniper time. Yes, crypto indeed. Last time we were talking to you on crypto, we said to you the recovery of Bitcoin and the tale of other BNB and dots. Gaslighting of ETH. That was the title. We'll show you that clip. But we were talking about Bitcoin actually is in a recovery state. That was the 1st of March. Today is the 9th of March. The day after Ladies' Day. That's right, ladies. You have escaped the patriarchy. You now have an 80-hour grueling workday job. Well done. Whoop. Okay. Welcome to all of you. Glad to have you. Please a share, a like. Very much appreciated. We want to grow the channel. Then we'll do more streams. Simple as that. If we get some scale, we'll do very, very regularly. It's even within the realms of possibility to be 3 or 4 times a week just on crypto alone if we have the scale. We need that. Help us get through the 50K mark. 30K is next. Let's do it together. Bring in the wisdom. Okay, what am I going to talk about today? Here's what I'm going to tell you in the video. I'm going to recheck in with you on Bitcoin and show you how we've been recovering, where it might pause, and the key levels. That's important because it's God market. It's your primary market. There should never be a crypto assessment, even if you're talking about an alt, which we will be doing, that doesn't kick off with understanding where you are in the God market. A small segment of understanding where you are in the God market has also got to do with the fact that Bitcoin is an anti-fiat, and it's not just a Bitcoin chart. It is the Bitcoin dollar chart. That's the old world that everybody forgets about. That's still part of the game. And recently, over the longer term, since the collapse of the dollar index, you haven't had to worry about that because it's just been dollar down, 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 down. But because you got one of the best technical analysts in the world doing your work for you with full 360-degree view of what the market is looking like, we've been watching the dollar. And if you've been following the Market Sniper channel, the other one called the Market Sniper in the traditional markets, you would know that a bit of a turning point might well be in falling wedge, big macro falling wedge with a smaller one within it that gave a little pop. In fact, we're making money on the USD TRY again and on the USD JPY, and other emergings may potentially emerge or submerge, maybe I should say. Think of the Rand and the others. But that's all traditional markets, but it is relevant for understanding the dollar. So we will pass by the Dixie as part of our understanding on where the dollar goes. That's all been led by rate increases and bond collapse. You need to understand this because this is part of the reset that pumps crypto. You see, the more you know, the more you need to know around. And that's why you're on this channel, and that's why you're sharing and helping us grow, and we appreciate it. So I'm going to talk to you about Bitcoin, but then we're going to go to a structure now on Polkadot. Very, very interesting. Could, in fact, see $50 be met and surpassed in not too far off moment if we get really impulsive action. We'll show you a little bit of the structure in that. Our premium community has been watching that and has taken in positions. You can take in positions before the live streams as well if you're part of that community. Believe you me, if we can't save you less than 0.2 of a Bitcoin in an entire year of trading, then we've failed dismally. But you know, you've got to invest, you've got to want to learn, you've got to want to grow, and that's your game. Link, book a call. Come and join the merry men of the ministry. Smart, wise, HVF trading monsters, all of them. Okay, so let's go have a look straight away at the charts. We're going to go into Bitcoin. We're going to go to DOT. And I'll also point out a little bit on BNB. So Ethereum kind of had a little bit of catch up where the others weren't running. ADA did an immense amount, looking a little bit flat and a bit bloated. But now Ethereum did a bit of a catch up run. We spoke of the gaslighting of ETH and gas, etc. last time. We won't do it again. But Binance is looking a little bit interesting too, but we're going to cover DOT mainly today. So let's go to those the charts straight away. So charts come in. There was our recovery of Bitcoin call that was over there. Many people were very bearish. In fact, sentiment indicator went like this. Everyone got a bit schizo. They don't realize it's a macro bull. You're going to get out too soon. Everyone's going to call big falls too soon. Yes, there are corrections. Yes, they will happen. But generally, you want to be a macro long. Look at this beautiful, messy chart of mine with all the workings and all the besmirchings that I do perpetuate on it. So the key part of this that many people might have missed is that actually we had, and let's draw, pen in hand. Here we go. Guess what color comes out the box first? It's always that way. By the way, didn't you guys love your entertainment with Harry Lemon and Woko Ono with Oprah? Yes, that's right. This is also your favorite comedy news update channel. Isn't it lovely to see Oprah there in the middle? Divisive, racial divisive stuff. Poor queen, poor little princess. Back to the charts. The little red head and shoulders that we had over here, neckline, was the precursor to a rather unfriendly fall. And it fell, it made its targets, it had a huge overshoot, snapback, high volatility, never a good time to be engaged in the market. You need to be involved just before. If you were a shorter, I did not short, I wasn't involved, I'm not claiming it, I'm just explaining what happened. Up she went, back down, and then squeeze, rising wedge, tap out, key level of 51.5 for us over there. Down, and then another little squeeze and a further dip down. You'll see the green, the big in green. Let's do green. This is in green because it's slightly positive. It is left shoulder head over here. And then we were waiting for a little bit of a right shoulder. Right shoulder should go. And we only work on the same level. We do not get involved with funny angled lines for necklines. Price matters. Price matters. This whole structure was also playing a big game around the 50K as well. There's your 50K. It's that blue line walking through there. So you're a little bit above, a little bit below. It was showing you there was a significant level. It's natural to pivot around that when you're deciding, are we bull, are we bear? Well, we're all in a funk, dancing around that old level. So we came back up to the neckline in our most optimistic moment. Again, let's get our TG pink back over there. And that gives us a second visit now up to this level, which confirmed the head here. So that was a head, that was a left shoulder. Then we got a nastier dip than you might have liked for your right shoulder. It came quite a bit down. It was a bit of a nervy one for us that were on the recovery side. By the way, don't forget you had a falling wedge here that was broken, and that was the beginning of that move up that took you to there, a little bit of an ABC kind of leg. And then you came down kind of deep over the weekend. We had a bit of an inverted funnel that we said that should hold. We don't want to go below that, and that held. But it was very deep. Then we went up again, we came back down, this time not as far, and we started to work our way up. That was a little falling wedge. That was another invitation. Wait for it at the 50K. Fancy having a falling wedge with a key inflection point, bang on sniper circle sights over there. Oh, it's so messy. Do it again. Do it again. Do it in nice colors. Do it in nice shapes. There she blows. How many of you saw that? Falling wedge. Amazing amount of times you will get a key inflection point right at a key round number and a structural pattern all happening together. You're on this channel for the technical analysis, not just the gags. There she blows. Falling wedge after. When did it happen after? Making sense of the price behavior for you so that you don't have to. It did it after it met our defined and recognized 51.5 neckline that we've been waiting for. So over here, we actually put in a bit of a funnel. We called a break there. It got you in early back in if you weren't already. I added 2 positions. I was already a little bit light long, sitting through clenched butt cheeks during this period. But we carried on up, We have now just made a confluence of levels, our second interim on an HVF and a legacy downside target of a head and shoulders. That's reversal over there. So we've gone from a small sized head and shoulder on this time frame, which is the 2 hour, by the way. We're on the 2 hour, I should have explained that, to a larger potential Bitcoin reversal. This is overall good. And I'll tell you why it's good and why this has impressed me a little bit. During this period, the dollar index has been strong. So the big moment you will all recognize is when silver, gold, Bitcoin all will go up on a strengthening dollar. That is going to be a key moment of notice for final stage reset. That is going to be a very worrying moment. Make sure you have all your metals. You're sitting on your little pile in the hole in the ground under the swimming pool or wherever you're putting them. Make sure you've got your Bitcoin all tucked in and safe. There will be currencies failing. They won't be able to pay their dollar debt. All sorts of things will be blowing up. And when you have the anti-fiats going up on a strong God fiat dollar, it's a pivotal, seminal moment. At the moment, we've had Bitcoin working its way up into the headwind of a strong dollar. That shows relative strength and is impressive to me. It doesn't have to be spectacular. Actually, it's not been bad overnight, and we've had some nice stretchy candles over there. May rest a little bit and require a little wind up. It could even do falling wedge and pullback. But overall, this is a recovery. We reaffirm what we told you on the 1st of March. You should be buying Bitcoin. You should be back long. Everyone was butthurt and in pain. Everyone was calling for 30,000. Not everyone. Many people were. The sentiment indicator had gone all crash. That was a good time to be bold. But it was a slow recovery. We needed the thrashy volatility that you see on the bigger time frames to work itself out. So let's just show you on the bigger time frames how it all looked. We go up to a daily and we take some of the jaw work off. You could see this settling. By the way, absolute giveaway here on the daily. For those of you that wonder about direction sometimes, absolute simplistic giveaway here. You had two daily hammers, one after another, the other one slightly higher. That is incredibly strong for that selling wicks that had gone before. The selling wick, so there was still some panic money getting out across the tops. There was clearly support there coming in, and now you see the follow through, and those early panic sellers are the dumb money. There was your falling wedge from last time, your up leg. What are we going to get? Well, I don't know. We could top out here and come down and make a big continuation pattern. We could do a marginally higher high. My suspicion, because I'll show you some targets on that, and then we could end up squeezing up on a rising wedge. That's a bit of a bummer one, because it's a tricky one. It's the retail trader's nightmare. Marginally higher highs. The support and resistance guys get killed every time on those. So that's a couple of scenarios that could happen. But the hammers were a giveaway. Simple candlestick analysis. You've got that one entirely for free. You're not sure on the 4 hour, half hour, 1 hour what Bitcoin's going to go up to next. Go and look at your daily. There it goes. This is coming up. Hammer there. Support, hammers rising, ascending, hammers under there, eventual move up. Look, could they be overawed? Could something happen? There's no such thing as 100% guarantee. This is a probability-based game. These are opinions with the information at hand. We're talking about the future. No one's looked at the future before. You can and will be wrong. It's about how often you're wrong and how much you make when you're accurate. Versus how much you can potentially lose when you're inaccurate. That's money management, a combination of money management and probability-based technical analysis getting you oversized rewards, explosive rewards with tight stops. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. But you say your lovely shiny button, your lovely shiny thumbnail that you put up there is talking about something else. So let's get to it. We are indeed talking about Polkadot at the moment. So our friend Ada has done really well, but was looking a little bloated and a little flat, you might agree. You can see there's some support coming in there, but a bit of an inverted hammer there. It's looking a little tired. It's in a bit of a broadening structure. It could rest and square up, I would think, a little period of underperformance. That's not a bear call. That's not a haters call. That's just for now, for a spell. Maybe in terms of short-term light leverage trades, you're going to make more elsewhere. Note the broadening structure. Key recent addition to our theory. You can learn about that on a bull poll. So not in there aggressively. I have investment holding, which I'll keep, but it might give up some ground. Or other things might just do better. So we'd spoken about ADA before, but we're here to talk about our friend DOT. So let's get straight to it. Now, DOT is a slightly different position. You may actually remember that DOT proceeded and went higher than ADA a while back and then was overtaken. So they're kind of exchanging. It's not that one has established permanent dominance over the other. Let's just give you a quick market cap reminder on those three. In fact, Binance Coin is the recent top dog. and has just shimmied a little bit up. Ethereum got back on his bicycle after a while, so we'll have to maybe check in on that FBTC. Is it getting going? Ethereum doing a good percent. It was doing higher than BTC. It's just fallen back a bit now as the store of value is now surging. So new money coming in for the store of value. Guess what's happening? The debt markets, I'm telling you, we were right when we called the top in March 2020. We were challenging others that were saying, buy the deal, the next deflation, it's only deflation and the money and the debt will go. Do not be caught long debt. Simple as that. Don't risk it for a couple of pips ongoing. This thing is probably topped in my view, could continue to go down. Right now, your city bankers are borrowing debt to short it. And they're going to kill your pensions, your government pensions, your state-based pensions, and make money profit all the way and push interest rates, create a hyperinflationary surge, and everyone else is going to lose. Remember, they ride the escalator up. They hand you the ticket for the elevator down. That's the nature of the game. And you're going to get fooled. Make sure you have no debt. Anyway, who's done well? Binance. A little surge there has done well. We'll talk about it. We've looked at ADA. You can see it's hanging on. This is 24%. But DOT is the one we're here to talk about because it could catch up a little bit. So we're thinking it might close up some of the distance on rivals ADA and Binance Chain. I'm calling them rivals. They'll probably argue there's things they do differently. This is not a fundamental discussion. It's a technical one. They were all benefiting at the expense of Ethereum for a while. So let's go to that chart again and highlight it. Not that one, that one. So this is on the big time frame. What you can certainly see is that this setup was an absolute monster. First upside in a new trend. In fact, I'll even put it on the weekly for you just to show you how insane it was. I'll take the volume off. We'll take the volume off for now. Goodbye to the volume. No, it didn't want to do what I wanted it to do. Let's try again. And get the right chart back up. Oh, fumble fingers. Nothing like trying to access a keyboard under a Wacom like this. I need a little midget helper that I can just occasionally sit down on and have him just push some buttons for me. And then I could pay him under the table, technically. Would that be allowed? I don't know. Anyway, are we allowed to even say that anymore? Should I say vertically challenged people? No humor is allowed anymore. It's mean. It's mean. So that was one of the super biggest upside HVFs you had. And look at that baby juiced for underperformance. The actual fact of the matter, probably your best trade since December would have been a leverage long kept long on DOT. Wow. I mean, it's still in an overperformance state. Look, this is not a log scale. I can log scale it for you. It'll take some of the sizzle out and make everything look in a percentage base, but it is still spectacular. It is still a spectacular move right there. That's why we trade HVF method. That's why you can build wealth in reset times. That's why you should be in the crypto markets. You should be broadly net long. You should be looking for HVF setups. You should be learning to do it properly. You should be missing less by being in our amazing community and our great bunch of guys, many of them in the chats. Shout out to you all. Thank you again for working with me and believing in me and trusting in HVF method. Okay, so that's DOT, but what's it doing now, you say? But we always start on the macro. So part of what I'm giving you here is I'm also showing you how to do something. You're getting free education. And I like it that way. It's great to help people. But understand that. Don't look to be fed fish. Learn to learn. Learn to learn. So what are we getting here? We're getting a possibility of, wait for it, is it going to be a continuation pattern or could it be a reversal? Let's be frank, we don't know for absolute sure. If I'm wrong, I'm going to be 100% wrong, and all the usual people that will get delight out of that will come and vomit in the comments. It's a probability game. Everything is on balance of probability. There is a bit of a basing grind line under there. However, if we turn out to be accurate, and this is now on log scale, this could be a very attractive move. And why do I say that? Well, we have targets for the other side of a key level, which is $50. And that will take you up. Let's bring some of that down onto the chart. We drop now to the 4-hourly time frame. That would take you very nicely up to 52,691, and we even have the 1.618 fib at 52. It wouldn't surprise me. Low end of 50 before you have a meaningful rest. And that is this continuation. In essence here. Now, how do you know when you broke? Well, the volume should get larger. You can consider yourself fortunate. You are, despite following the community and being behind them on this trade, you are actually getting very early notice on it. We have not yet had the surge volume that confirms a breakout move. We have not yet had that surge volume that confirms a breakout move. That's what you have. Typically at our low twos, you get a little bit of an impulse of volume. You kind of had a low one that actually had multiple places of low one there, and you have little spikes. So what you actually have is during the consolidatory period, you get a dissipation of volume to a baseline, and it gets quiet. And that is exactly what you want in low volatility. It gets quiet. So in spite of this one histogram there probably being double, maybe 2.5 times the recent average, it's the only time I'll use a moving average, by the way, on volume, just to get recent average. You can do it like this. I'll show you how you do it. You'll be forgiven sharing a chart with me if you have a moving average on your volume. You will not be forgiven in any other place. You'll get chastised. I'll start talking about dragging dead cows behind 4x4s and how the move... Oh, that didn't work. Let's try it again. Color based on previous close. Yes, please. Volume, and do it in black so we can see it. I'm like Henry Ford. I want it painted black. Okay, so that's how it goes. So so kind of low on the volume. You'll see that dissipation in the volume, kind of low. So you had about 2.5 times on one candle, and then it's rating back in. So this is itchy, scratchy, wanting to go uppies. In the meantime, Binance has popped before, but I'm going to argue that actually I think in overall percentage move, I think you're going to get better buzz out of DOT. So we're talking about top 10. Remember, we tend to focus on top 10 and Bitcoin. We're not focusing right down to the low end. We have a fundamental favorite like a secrecy coin, Monero, for example, but at the moment, it's not outperforming. It's not doing anything. The game is making money. And when we need to deal with privacy, we'll utilize it. But at the moment, we're trying to make money, and we'll want to see that point when the money starts to come in, if it ever for it to be an investment option. But let's have a look at Binance, and you can do the shootout with me. So you've had an earlier bump out of Binance. By the way, I expect Binance still to do well. I'm just saying, in the event of these doing well, who's going to do most well? This is a relative strength assessment. Of the three, I think Ada's going to do least well because it's already had a long run and technically it looks the most bloated. Binance is a viable option, and if you have Binance, I don't think you're going to do badly at all. Assuming we continue to go up, assuming Bitcoin continues its recovery, we will finish on Bitcoin again on those targets that I think it'll do. One, which is actually a marginally higher high beyond, which is that green inverted head and shoulders. And the other, which is our HVF target, which is around about an RH2. So a secondary high, just short through 57,000. So maybe we're going to make the 57,000 and rest back, wind up and go. Or maybe we're going to just make a marginally higher high and start heading for future rising wedge structure. So we'll cover that in a final 30 seconds in the end of this video. By the way, we love your comments. Let's see them down. Let's have a look. Who's talking to me? Utter breakout now, says somebody. Francis, the best analyst, says Pectus. Thank you, Pectus. BNB looking good. Yep. GRT, great. Looks good, Francis. Any chance of getting into BNB? Well, you'll be chasing a little bit of a pump, and I think it was a little bit of a premature ejaculator. In that it might just rest and wait for the rest now. So it's kind of gone. It could give you a revisit at least to the halfway mark. If you want to rush in and buy, fine, but your stop needs to be below the last lows, either there and even better down there. So, you know, how big can you buy if you're a chaser? If you're a chaser and that's the habit you're going to set and you're going to keep doing it, you're going to always be a chaser, and that means you're going to get washed out. You're going to get beaten up, and you're going to take big losses. So you either take another token that hasn't popped as hard, that is still roughly at its just-in-time entry, our favorite traditional entry, which means you have a reasonable distance to stop, even tight, and a far more expansive upside. We'll do the risk reward on DOT, but we're just showing you the comparable. So you have an option of chasing into Binance with a much deeper stop and in a structure that I would say a little bit flatter, a little bit lower slung. So once again, DOT from round about the 35s to 50, it's actually a big move. It's actually a big move. I know you've all been spoiled from ICO pump days where everything goes 3x from some new shitcoin that you can barely get out of. Real tradable liquid tokens that you can buy and sell relatively easily, 5 Bitcoins worth, 10 Bitcoins worth, 20 Bitcoins worth, with a couple of staggered orders, 50 Bitcoin worth. That is value. That means you get a chance to get out. It's not just paper profits. So we'll show you that risk reward. So Binance is another, and we think it'll do well, but we think right now for you, DOT is better still. What about Ethereum? Well, Ethereum has come back a little bit because it fell behind as these new Johnny-come-lately platform tokens have gone, but it has clawed its way back, and even more so than Bitcoin in terms of running right down to sub 1300 over here. So this was a harsh gas punishment. It ran 2040 and then it was 1295 ish. So you kind of dumped $750 on your 2040, better part thereof. Bang, down, have that. So it got hit hard on the sell-off, but in fairness to it, its recovery has been pretty decent. So we'll go and have a look at FBTC. It might be clawing its way back up to that key level. Remember, it got set back, I think, for the gas story and the other platform tokens eating a bit of its dinner, but that doesn't mean it's been cancelled. It didn't get invalidated. So FBTC is still out there. You could be getting this analysis every single day. Grab the link, book yourself a call, have a chat with somebody about being a member in the community. What's it like? Ask someone who is already there. And he will tell you of all his experiences, good and bad. And he's not a salesman. He's not a professional salesman at all. He'll just share. Talk to another trader. It really, some people are kind of scared, you know, they might hook me. No, we don't want you if you don't want to be there. No one can empty your pockets. We're not that kind of guy. Watch out for the scammers, by the way. Think people with pictures of my face doing it. There's a lot of it going on. I have to appear on Moscow TV because of some guy that took my face. To say, no, it's not me. Friends that just say, can you confirm that this guy doesn't know you? There's all sorts of weird internet stuff going on out there. Okay, so let's go and discuss, where were we? Binance, DOT. Back to DOT, what was the risk reward? Okay, so we're going to give you the risk reward that you potentially get. Let's have a look also at comments while it's happening. I count a flat. Check ADA breaking out now. Yeah, it's probably going to pop up now. FBTC just broke out of consolidation, said someone. I should probably finish the Ethereum analysis and just revisit FBTC just for fullness. I'm making this a longer clip than I wanted it. I want them to be more regular and shorter. Let's have a look at that quickly. But we have spoken a lot of FBTC before. Let's put the lines back on. You can see we're heading back. We are, yeah, it's kind of improving, but it's not back at the 4 levels. It's not back at the 4 levels. It needs to still catch up. So ETH is working its way back against Bitcoin, but not shooting the lights out for me. So we're still going to focus, and especially if we're going to get a DOT and a BNB run, I think again this is new money going into the alternative platform tokens to Ethereum. Ethereum might continue to lag. So this reversal may take its time to really get started. And then suddenly Ethereum 2.0 comes out and it's so amazing and everybody goes, way, why did we ever doubt you? And rushes back in. So we'll see how and when that ever happened. Pexis wants us to have a look at ADA breaking out right now on the shorter time frame, I'm sure. Yep. So it was squeezing and looking a bit soft. And now it is actually going back up. So it will respond. It's doing a little bit of a Binance token. Still, I prefer the structure technically of DOT. But it looks like you're going to have a groundswell of upside for ADA, BNB, etc. So Ethereum might slow as a result. Binance looks strong. Others actually, this was very flat and a little bit bearish looking last night. In fairness, I did say I wouldn't want to hold this. Looks like it has another stab down. Bitcoin kept going up, dollar pulled back, and actually crypto is as a whole in quite a bullish stage. So what was looking a little bit soft and low vol and possibly having another final little dip down, it wouldn't have had to be a big one, got cancelled, and actually you're moving the other way now. Still, overall, the structure here is not your premium structure. So today I will not be a leverage trading ADA, but I have investment and I'm delighted to see it improving. Back to DOT. What are your guys' comments while we're looking? Yeah, Adam wants above 195 before he gets excited. Charles is only holding Chainlink, he says, and DOT at the moment. So he'll be pleased to hear we have good expectations for DOT. So let's just throw that risk reward potential on here for DOT. Here's how we do it. I still think you may get a chance to get filled there. Ah, that's not my first draw DOT. Let's go to that one. I still think you'll get a chance to be filled on the green line. How many people come and give you trade ideas that can pay you and buy your way into an amazing community of trading friends with risk rewards like that? And by the way, it could overperform a little bit. It's been a while. So you could do a 60 or a 75% close and hold a bit. That is a risk reward of 6.75, guys. 6.75 on your DOT. 6.75 on your DOT over there. How many of you traded a 6.75 in the last week? Big Daddy wants ADA to break the $2, so we got a lot of ADA fans in today. Decentraland up big, so a lot of alts. This is an alt coming, guys. This is a little bit of an alt season, so we can also take a peek at the total too. It's going to have a lot of Ethereum in it, of course. And Ethereum has recovered, but it might have a little bit more. It'll keep going up when Ethereum rests. This is very close to previous highs. So total, you can see this is alt. Total is closer to its previous high than Bitcoin is. So there was the sell-off was weighing heavy on our store of value token, the God market token of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is roundabout at these levels now by reference. So alts are showing relative strength at the moment for now. The quality alts. Remember, the quality alts are the big cap ones. That doesn't mean all alts. 90% are lagging, but they've all got nothing as market caps. The top third of the quality alts are outperforming Bitcoin right now. That doesn't mean you sell all your Bitcoin and go in it, because if we get some dollar strength. So I did say I would show you the dollar index. So I must fulfill on that commitment, and this will get some of you understanding and thinking how and why this is significant, and maybe you should learn a little bit about it, and we'll show you that. So again, on Market Sniper, we've covered this extensively, but this is going to hurt the likes of Turkey and these other emerging lands. And what will happen is, some of them will buy crypto. Some of them will buy gold instead of dollar. Rand. Some of them will buy crypto instead of dollar. Brazilian real, Indian rupee. So we start to have a falling wedge break there. We warned that that was going to happen. We'd done the early just draw of this falling wedge and been remodeling it many, many times as it was recurring. We said, be careful. This falling wedge is coming to an apex point before that last low. It could reverse. The last low was that blue line. This is a chart you should be thinking about. That's what's impressed me about Bitcoin. It was a slow recovery at first, and that was because dollar was a headwind. It's still a bit of a headwind, but today, on this day, it's a little bit of a tailwind from behind because it's coming off. It's coming off. And I don't think this could be an absolute ripper unless we have a major, another false flag event to take away your freedoms. So I don't think it'll be an absolute ripper, because if it does, it straight away just kills the likes of Turkey. They were very, very close to falling over the last time. So this is the real market. So we're getting a down day on the dollar. That doesn't mean you can expect pump. This was the big easy for crypto. That gradient of descent was a perpetual tailwind, largely, with very few pause areas for Bitcoin. It's no surprises that April was our first cup gold nugget break day. Go and look at the Bitcoin chart. April, and the best and easiest running into the early parts of January is what took you to 58K there. Now you're getting a slightly different kind. So you can't sneeze at smaller percentages into big headwinds, and trading more cautiously with less leverage, if any leverage at all. Okay, let's have a look at your questions. Rob Clay is sharing some DNA chains there. This message is held for review. Can you check BSV USD, please, Sniper? So Andreas BSV, he's a BSV fan. Andreas, I'm sorry, mate. I don't like it. I don't like anything that's falling down the market cap. It's underperforming. BSV, obviously no longer a top 10 token. I haven't even kept in mind where it is. Down, down, down. Cash is outside the top 10 as well now. They descaled, and I think they've lost a lot of relevance. Man, I can't even see the damn thing. NEM, Aave, Theta, Cosmos, VeChain. Where's BSV? Good grief. This thing's dying. What number is that? 27, 28. It can't even load it. It's still loading it. Number 29. Number 29. That's terrible news, mate. Just looking at the ladder without seeing a chart. It's terrible news. The chart is awful. It is terrible news. It's still refusing to load it. It's probably disgusted. But that is, if that's 26, that's 27, 28, 29. Tezos is at 30. Not great performance from Tezos either, by the way. But BSV, you're talking about something that was in the number 5, number 6 at one point, at its highest point. That's terrible, terrible news. Don't be holding it. I don't need to look at the chart. I can get it up for you, but it ain't going to be pretty. And the only chart you should care about is BSV versus Bitcoin as well. Let's have a look. We'll show you. You asked so politely. We'll give you the bad news. How many others are in BSV? I'm not imagining too many. In fact, I've stopped looking at it. I think I removed it out of this list. It is doing an Ethereum Classic. How many people show up and ask about Ethereum Classic nowadays? Not too many. Don't be a believer in an individual or an outcome. I'll go OKX. Perpetual flatness in an environment where all the others are going up sees BSV make very little progress. That's a terrible chart in a bull market where everything else is going up. You just think of those charts of ADA, DOT that you could be in. So BSV versus Bitcoin, it'll probably have a surprise pump, but I don't think this is worth following any further for you. I really would suggest that whatever relationship you have with it, you cut your losses. That is a man peas off the roof. You'd be far better in the big old store of value. People that know nothing about crypto, that are just coming into the space for the very first time and are buying Bitcoin, are outperforming you immensely. You had 0.33 at a logical 3.8 there, and now you're at literally less than 3.8, 1/10. The beginning of 2020, and I'm not even taking the top of the wick. It's now 1/10, less than 1/10 of Bitcoin. So what Bitcoin's done You've not got a tenth of it. It's terrible. It should actually be a short against Bitcoin into irrelevance. That's probably how it'll end. I don't know. There could be occasional spikes, but not of interest. So what else? Who else and what else do you want? Francis, thoughts on the idea of March correlating with a third Monday pump next week? I don't understand that idea, Julian. Was there a pump last year in the third Monday of the week? I don't know. I don't think those kind of seasonalities are that specifically interesting. Dot versus ADA, says one man. It was Ali. Dot versus ADA. Say again? Ada's coming to the party now. Good, good, good. Now, let's try that again. I'm going to have to get the whole ADA up and divide it by dot, or dot up and divided by ADA. So let's do that. Let's push this back so I can actually reach my keyboard. That's not a bad idea. So what is he doing? He wants a relative strength assessment. So dot, it's not, that's a big, weekly is a bit of a big reach. Let's do this. That's my assessment. My community knows what that means. But overall, the next, I would expect another surge from DOT. So it seems like DOT has short periods of surge and then kind of drifts a little bit off with occasional pushes. If it gets a real advantage, you could see it pop out the top there. So that's a broadening structure on a bull pole. So kind of a little bit in DOT favor, but it also highlights that on the overall, in the in-between news periods, ADA tends to just drift a little bit up against it as well. So it's not incredibly powerful for DOT or ADA. There's quite an even relationship, but suddenly at one point, and we only have one case, so it's a very small sample, DOT just totally dominated ADA and then drifted back over a period. So it's a little bit, we've got one period of drift and one period of pump. It's a bit hard to do relative analysis on such a short amount of data. And that's a problem with some of these cryptos. It's just not been around enough for long enough. And they get a little bit of hype and mega new money and news. And you could end up overrating that initial move. But overall, I think they're quite evenly matched. I'd probably say if you're holding long enough, you'll probably get a better idea. But possible upside performance for DOT, but DOT hasn't begun running yet on its break, while I think ADA and BNB has. Okay, guys. Time is almost up. BAT versus ETH. No, I'm not going to do any more requests, I'm afraid. That's it for today. We've got to keep these short and punchy. We've got 470 people watching and 170 of them like that. We'd like to get to 30K. Help us do it. There's no ads on this channel. We're giving you, what was the number of that trade? 6 point how much? We've given you a trade idea. You can risk 1 unit and lose 1 unit, and you could gain 6 point whatever it was, 6.7 I think, or something like that. It's up to you. Own your own outcomes. We're not making any recommendations. We are not financially regulated. We are entertainers talking about trades and things that we see in the market. You get to decide what you want to do. We appreciate having you. For those that want to be in more detail, getting more regular updates on a more personalized level and be in the community with voicemail updates, all you have to do is grab the link that is being shared right now, go to the website, and you choose a time that suits you, you show respect to the other person who will be waiting there for you, and you show up and you have a chat. And you can say, hey, I just want a preliminary. I'm kind of unsure. Just talk to somebody. They'll give you the information. They're nice people. They won't be on my team unless they're not. And then you can go forward from there. If you don't want to do that, grab the mini series. It's absolutely free. You'll get our newsletter once a month for it, by the way. So go and register, grab the mini series. If you book a call, you'll be captured and put on the newsletter as well. You'll get one email once a month and nothing else. Okay, thank you for attending. Appreciate you all watching. Go and check it out. Is Dot waiting for you to climb on the bus? Let's see. Bye for now.